Ladies and gentlemen, Romero Jennings. Mr. Romero, welcome.
How are you? Good, good. Thank you all for coming. I feel like this is an intimate group of 100 and something, right? So, thank you for coming to the Extreme Editorial Beauty Masterclass. So this class was really brought to us because we felt that there were so many makeup artists using other things besides makeup. This is something we saw backstage. It's something we saw in many editorials, and it's something I've been doing by myself for quite a while. How many people here are on social media? Me too. So if you're following me, you know that I like to make a lot of things with my hands. I like gardening. It's very inspirational for me. I like hanging out with my mom, as you can see also. She has really big glasses and her own Instagram page. Hashtag Romero's mom. She's gonna love it. So yeah, I think it's really interesting. So really this class is about transformation. It's about transforming the face. Sometimes it's done with highlight and contour. Sometimes it's a whole face of glitter, a face of crystals, using paper, just objects that are not normal to makeup and incorporating it with makeup for a beauty shoot. But we're also doing this backstage at Fashion Week. We're gluing on things all the time. So, as you can see, again, by social media, I've been showing you some of the preparation from New York, and I've been really excited, and I'm so glad that the team has brought me here. It's amazing to come to Milan when it's not just Fashion Week. So, I'm going to bring out the first model, and we're going to start. So this is the beautiful Nina. So I've done a little bit of prep on her before, and it really is curling the lashes. My favorite is the half lash curler, which I know a lot of people don't like to use, but I really get a nice bend with the lashes. A little bit of moisturizer on the skin, softening lotion, of course, and I've used a little bit of lash glue to glue her brows down. So the applique that I'm going to be using on her today is actually this one. And it's done on a mesh, gluing piece by piece, and it really does take quite a few hours to do. This takes about 12 hours. And you have to source the materials, make sure it's quite lightweight. And a big problem that I found, just so you know my vulnerability, is I've done this before where I've glued the back of it and then glued it onto the model's face. The problem is the glue transfer and comes outside of the applique. So I found the best thing to do is to glue the brow down ahead of time, take a little bit of lash glue, place right on top so it gets tacky or sticky, and then you can just place this right on top really, really easy. And then glue down some pieces if you need to. So it's just to show you that it'll be quite quick. So I also have appliques here that I'll show you. And these are just some other ones that I've made. Just again, out of these metal paper, super lightweight. So many times people will ask about where I source the papers. And really, it's anytime I travel the world, I always go into arts and craft shops looking for these type of materials, looking for crystals, looking for metal, paper, all of that, you know? So this is really a lot of fun. Also, I just did a shoot in New York using some of these. Again, eyebrows, all made out of different materials. Crystals, mesh, fabric, lace, anything like that just to be creative. I feel as a makeup artist that now the game is so different being makeup artist in this world at this time, because I remember when you would take a picture and to check the picture, use a Polaroid. How many people remember that? Okay, the room is way too young. Yes. So yeah, so it's very, very different, and I feel like what's going to make us stand out as artists, this is like the next generation. It's the next thing that's coming, where you're not just using makeup, but you're using something that inspires you. It could be pieces of grass, it could be, you know, paillettes, it could be, again, fabric. So I want to show you two others and talk to you a little bit about my mistake. So originally, I wanted to do this lash for the class today to match it with a green metal mask. And when I posted the picture on social media, someone said, "Oh, that's beautiful, Christmas eyelashes." That was not my goal. So I want to say with this type of thing, sometimes you have this great idea, you're so excited, and then you post it and you realize, okay, that's not exactly what I wanted to do, so I made these. So this is my second one. I still am excited about making the green one because it was a little challenging with the stars, but I made something a little bit more contemporary, not so, holiday. Okay, so I'm going to pass this around so you guys can see a little closer. And we'll start on the skin. So what I'm going to do is use a little bit of the softening lotion. And what I love about this is it really helps to even up the skin tone and the texture on the skin. Then I'm going in with the Water Weight foundation, which is amazing. If you like face and body, you're going to love Water Weight. It is really the #1 foundation that we're using backstage. And it photographs really, really well. So the number 109 brush and tapping or stippling. What's nice is as the Water Weight dries down, as the softening lotion dries down, it really just pulls the foundation in. So tapping or stippling. So I like to work really fast. I think that's the one thing that clients always have a problem with, is if you take too long. So what's really good is the Water Weight is amazing for coverage also. So you can use it as a little bit of a concealer under the eyes, a little bit more on the nose where she's a little red. Okay. I like this motion because I think it's almost like the foundation is going on almost airbrushed when you're tapping it. All right, that looks good. Now we're going to the Studio Finish Concealer, which is my favorite. And of course, the concealers come in that palette of 6, and to make it easier on myself, I've put it in a vintage MAC palette. And I like using a soft brush for concealer. All the way up for me. And just tapping right under the lash line. So this is another big trend, is actually leaving that redness around the eye instead of concealing it. So you're not concealing all the way up to the lash. So the face looks a little bit more real. The skin looks more believable. So just tapping or stippling. So I like to do a little extra on the inner corner and then just fade it outward. So another thing about inspiration for doing these looks, for me, many times when I'm creating the entire look, I think about it as a song, but not a note. Not one note, but the entire completed song, so that you have a full idea of the visual, because if not, many times I show up at a photo shoot, and what'll happen is you get a little confused because you have so many things, it's overwhelming, what do I do? I try to really stick to my script. Okay, so the skin is looking really good. I'm going to go back with my palette of paint sticks, cream color base, and some more paint sticks. All right, so I'm going to take a color that is, I think this is bronze, cream color base, and I'm going to wrap it, look all the way up for me, right underneath the eyes. just so that her eyes are a little bit more red or a little more rosy. And again, it's just to bring in a little more lived in or real look. I'll turn this way. The same here. So again, bronze cream color base. So right into the lash line. Inner corner of the waterline. Extend it just slightly here. So it's sort of matching her own natural waterline. And close your eyes for me. And just on the lid. Super simple, really easy. Same here. And again, nothing on the eyelids, so you have the natural redness. You could see the veins, so that the makeup looks more transparent. Transparency was another big trend this season. Okay, I'm going to give her just a little bit of coverage right on her lid. So I'm going back with a pointy brush, a little more concealer. I'm just going to give her a little bit of coverage right here. Okay, and then just a bit more of the bronzing on the lid. So when I'm creating makeups, I always think about what it's going to look like, whether it's high definition, whether it's digital, what type of lighting. So, I mean, it's always great to test it. And what's really good is we have these high definition monitors so you guys can see everything. Okay. So we curled her lashes before, but I'm going to go back in and do a little bit more of the half curler. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So this is good because I feel like I get more control with this than I do the large lash curler. And turn this way. So for this look, I'm curling the center and the outer portion of the lash. I like it because you get a really nice curl. Let's see. A little more here. Okay, I think we're ready. So I love using two different mascaras. I start with the extended play because I feel this is like hairspray for hair. It really helps to keep the bend, and it's not really heavy, so it coats and keeps the shape. So I'm going to do a little bit of a zigzag. I'm making it really clumpy by the root. Almost like her lashes look like the number 33s that we have. So it's more cute and adorable. Same here. Let's take a little bit more. Dotting at the root. Little zigzag, almost clumping the pieces together. And then brushing up. Let's see. Okay. All right. So I see a little mascara. I'm going to go back with my tiny Q-tip before it dries and blend. Just get rid of it. All right. I'm going back with a little bit of Hot and Naughty, my favorite. Okay. So keeping it more clumpy or spiky, so it's more of an organic looking mascara. So it's a little chunky. Yeah, a little bit more here. Let's see. It's looking good. A little bit more. I promise I'm going to put it down now because I can do mascara over and over and over. All right. I love mascara. Okay. So our next step is we're going to do a little bit of contouring. So when I was thinking about this look, I was thinking about it being more almost alien, very futuristic, which I feel is sort of a trend that we've been seeing happening even this season. And because of that, we've been seeing the addition of dots. Dots becoming like, a dot being in trend right now. And what I mean is, it's like the new beauty mark. Before, you remember women putting a beauty mark somewhere on their face? Now, they're just drawing dots on. Sometimes it's a colored dot, it almost looks tribal, or sometimes it's a metal paillette, which makes it look more futuristic. All right, and do this for me. So we're going to just sculpt with the 168. Really heavy here. And then just wrapping it around the cheekbone. The temple also. So the reason I like to do this is it really gives the face a dimension. Wherever you put the dark spot, it tends to make it recede, so everything else stands out. So by putting it here, it makes the cheekbone stand out more. By putting it here, it really accentuates her beautiful cheeks. Turn this way for me. This brush is the perfect width for doing contouring. And I like to wrap it right around the cheek and even right into the smile line. So I have a really funny story. My sister got married a few years ago. She got married at 40. Okay, 10 years ago. And she asked me to do her makeup. So unlike Romero, my sister is not a very smiley person. Her job is, she's a nurse. So at work, she is the sweetie, darling. She loves everyone. And she comes home, and her face changes. So she's getting married, and I'm thinking, how do I create this smile, this permanent smile on her face for her wedding day? And it was through that technique of carving the face with the contour and then having her smile to see where it should go and then relax now, and just slightly wrapping it in here, and it just gave her this permanent, it was just the tiniest smile, but it made a huge difference. Good trick, right? She looked really happy. All right. So a little bit more here. Turn that way for me. So sculpting. I'm going to make it a little bit darker here. So for this, you can use brown paint stick. You can use a cream color base. I could have used bronze on her, but I want it to be quite matte. So I'm mixing in the brown and a little bit of taupe. And we're going to wrap it right around the hairline. All right. So she's looking really good. We're going to go back with a little bit of concealer. And I'm going to use a fluffy brush. And I'm using the lightest color here. And this is actually the color corrector, all the way up for me. And I'm putting a dot right on the inner corner. I'm just going to blend it out, but I want to attract light right on the inner corner and the center of the nose. Again, this color here. And then I'm going to blend it out. And it's just highlighting those areas, so right between the eyes that it really stands out. All the way up for me. Blending it out. Okay. So now we're going to use a little bit of concealer on the lip. So just blotting the moisturizer off. Concealing with the Studio Finish. Powdering with just a little bit of loose powder. I'm going to do a little powder just around the nostrils. Look all the way up for me. A little bit under the eyes. I'm going to take the smaller brush. Same thing, just a little bit of loose powder. And right here under the eyes and around the nose. Okay. So I wanted to bring to you today a product that you've seen online. You've seen me post about it, and it's coming. It's not here yet, but everyone's dying, and it's the new Pro Longwear liquid lipstick. Open. Let's get this off. What's amazing is it comes with this applicator that makes it easy for the consumer, but also easy for the artist to use. And open. Close. And the same on the top. So really great coverage. Turn this way. So it dries really fast, as you can see, so you can go back and get a little bit more. Turn for me. And smile. So really, really incredible coverage, really fast. In the meantime, I use lip mix. Turn this way. I'm going to do a little cleanup with a small brush. Smile. Just to sharpen the line a little bit more. Okay, that's looking good. So, the next step, I'm going to ask Roberta to come up and help me. So, I've actually created this on, I guess, one of these loops because you can stretch the fabric, the mesh, and it could be mesh that you use for making lace wigs or even for making mustaches or even bridal lace. And we're going to just cut it off. And let's see here. Oh, right here. Oh, scissors I have. Oh, you know what? I think I might have it on the table there with your things. No? Oh, I found it. Haha. All right. So maybe hold this for me. So we're going to cut it off. Yep. Okay. And what's great is it really helps you out with placement where, you know, it's as easy as that. But now is where it gets challenging because it's harder to place when you don't have the mesh on it. Yeah, I'll take this one. Okay. I give you that. One down, one to go. So the tricky part is cutting this without damaging like 11 or 12 hours worth of work. That happens. That happens. And listen, this is why you have to have backup. You have to just be prepared. Anything can happen. They're quite sensitive, and I have to tell you, traveling with them is also tricky. Like, think about taking this on a plane. So it does not get checked with luggage. All right. So, yeah, thank you. So what I'm going to do is just a little bit more lash glue, which I think I have here. So there are different types of duo. Earlier I used duo that was the regular tube that we have, but it also comes in a stick form, like with an applicator. Turn me. So I might need a little bit of yours too. I think your duo is right there. Yeah. Okay. So same thing, just a bit more. And just with a Q-tip. Yeah, I'll put that, sorry. I'm going to leave that for a minute. Thank you. Drying time is important. I'm going to try. Oh, not yet. So maybe I'll have you hold this. Yep. I'll take that and that, and you can press that down. So again, because they're so heavy, it takes a while for it to stay in place. I'm going to take a little bit more glue. Yeah, keep holding it. This is already dry, so I'm going to add a little bit more. So if this was someone that was performing, you would use a stronger glue. But I think for what we're doing today, for an editorial or for something like this, you don't need to do so much. Okay, let's see, 1 second. Almost there. Let's see. This one needs to come down a little bit more. That's what's nice about this, is that you can go back and just place it. Okay, 1 second. And yeah, we can pull. And just bring it down. Wait 1 second, even a little bit more. Yeah, this one's too high, so we'll go back in. Hold this for me for 1 second, just that part. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more glue. This is when you need 4 hands, not 2. So I'm going to wait for this to dry for a second. And it really helps. It's necessary. Okay. And let's see, 1 second. So down more. A little bit more. Turn for me. Okay. Hold this for a couple of seconds. In the meantime, I'm going back, and what we're going to do is a little bit of highlight. So I'm highlighting her with 2 things. The new strobe cream that's coming in colors that you've been seeing us use backstage. You can use a regular strobe cream and mix in pigment in it also to create your own special mix. But I'm using a little bit of this. And turn that way for me. Just to highlight the top of the cheeks, the bridge of the nose. Turn this way some more. But we're going to finish it off with pigment. And what I've done is I've mixed white and gold pigment in a little container and a little bit of reflex teal. And we're just going to create this icy highlight. Turn that way for me. Really pretty, but translucent. Turn this way for me. A little bit on the bridge of the nose. Turn back for me. Back this way. And just a little bit on the chin. Okay. And the very final, just to finish her off, I brought you a mask. Yeah, you can hold the front down. Yeah. Okay. Yep. 1 second. Is that okay? You're right. Just a little here. As you can see, it's not that comfortable on, but it looks really good, right? Hold on. A little concealer. Okay. And then we'll have you stand right here so you guys can get a closer look. And I see a little smudge. Getting it nice and shiny for you. So, one look. So, imagine trying to do this like you're gluing things on someone's eyebrows or eyelashes with no time at a shoot. Everyone would have gone home, they turn the lights off, you're done. So really easy to just prepare some things ahead of time, just so it makes your work easy. Perfect, thank you.